morning, everyone. How are you? This is the Diana Wright Show Live. What a day this is, because you see now, as we welcome you from around the world and in the United States, China state media blasts the U.S. over the government shutdown and calls for de-Americanized world. What do they want it to be now? A China world? Wow, what a thing that would be. Okay, so I guess we'll start off with inferior made products. Slavery, because basically what they're paying their people seems to be slavery in the fullest. The factories that you see look like, it's human beings, but my golly, wow. And tainted products like drywall and all those other things that have come out of there, children's toys. Is that the world that we want now? And I wonder, seriously, does Senator Ted Cruz, Sarah Palin, Mike Lee, Marco Rubio, Rand Paul, and even Paul Ryan, I'll throw him in there too. I just simply wonder, how are they feeling today? Would they like us to export them to China? How about that? So, China wants to de-Americanize the world. So we note that the government shutdown prevented the president from going to the summits in Asia. I said summits because it was more than one. Yeah. And what is today? The 14th day, is it? Of the government shutdown. Do these guys who get elected for these positions understand really what the government does and what it doesn't do? What it can do and what the private sector just can't do? I can't imagine the private sector trying to do a cleanup of the BP spill, oil spill. I can't imagine them cleaning up after a hurricane in Florida or in New Orleans or wherever, or Sandy in New Jersey. Do you know any private sector company that can do that? Do you know of a private sector company that can actually pay out all the Social Security checks and the Medicare, doctors' payments and all those things? Well, you should let me know. You should let somebody know. And what a world are we running into? What went on in Washington this weekend among Ted Cruz and Sarah Palin and all those veterans and those crazy Tea Partiers who are picking up, railings and barricades and throwing them on the White House lawn and calling for President Obama's impeachment, for him to go home? We have gotten to a place of absolute insanity, disrespect. And who are we anymore? So I simply ask you today, if President Barack Obama was a white man totally, and not a half white man and a half black man, because that's what he is, I trust if he looked more like his mother, because you do have some interracial couples who produce children who look so much more like the other person than the other person. Do you think that this level of disrespect would be farmed out to him or her? I hasten to think that it wouldn't be so. I hasten to think that this is all about racism. We don't want to talk about it. No one wants to speak of it. But it is in our faces, and China is now seeing it. Yes, there was a shutdown when Bill Clinton was in power, but it was nothing as nasty and as disrespectful and as, terroristic as this one is. And we really and truly today, this day, anyone who's listening to me and will pass this video on to someone else, do we truly believe that this is the way we want America to look around the world and the way we should behave? And those people who are calling themselves Christians, like Bachman and all those others, please stop calling God's name. And when the Republicans can have a values conference that is hosted by some religious group, the same brother that came out and said that Mormonism is a cult, we need to look inside ourselves. What kind of Christians are you? If you guys are Christians, and if this is what democracy is, I am positive that all the people around the world that America is trying to democratize are saying, if that is democracy, no thank you, we don't want it. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am here to say to you, if this is what Christians are supposed to be like, I don't want to be one. And you shouldn't want to be one either. Because if this is the way we behave as Christians, conservatives, we all have some conservatism in our system, in our blood, whether we're Democrats, Independents, or Republicans. We all have it. There's no true, pure conservative person unless you are one of those who call yourself crazy and you're going to try to kill other people because you're crazy. Because if you are a normal human being and you look inside yourself, we all disagree with a lot of things that happens in the world. We disagree. We all agree, basically, with the crazy Republicans that we don't want women lying down, having babies, and then depend on the government to take care of those children. I don't agree with that. That's a conservative thought. But that really is not a conservative thought. That is a thought of a sensible human being. We all agree that it would be wonderful if all of us could get married and then have children. But if you look in the Bible, and we talk, a lot of preachers preach about stuff, but what's in the Bible is a lot of men sleeping with a lot of women, a lot of sex, a lot of babies being born out of wedlock, and men sleeping and committing adultery every single day, sleeping with their concubines, their wives giving them off to another person to get pregnant because they can't get pregnant. Just think of Abram and Sarah and Hagar. So we all have some conservatism in us. But yes, if we're going to preach the Bible, we have to preach all of the Bible. There's incest in the Bible. Oh yes, when I got to that verse in the Bible at some point in my life, I go, wow! It is in here too. There's killing and hating and envy and corruption. Everything that's happening on this planet today is in the Bible. Endless violence and sex, oh my God, there's so much of it in the Bible. And money is talked about in the Bible than just about anything else. So we all seek it. We just don't need to pray to it. I want more money. You want more money. Everyone wants a little more money. And even when they have billions, they still want more. But the revolution and the concept to keep poor people down at all cost by allowing them only to make $7.25 an hour, to keep them poor, to keep them in a state of poverty, is not the right thing and cannot be the right way. And when I listened to Mr. Goldfein, Lloyd Goldfein from Goldman Sachs on Fareed's show on Sunday, it truly touched my heart to know that he laughed at the demonstration of the 99% that was demonstrating on Wall Street. He laughed. Oh, this is their anniversary? Oh, they had an anniversary? And he just thought it was so funny. Is this the way rich people think? And who make all these rich people wealthy? It's small investors. It's people who invest their money. And then on the other side, you had a wonderful man from Digicel who said, yes, it is important for us to look at income inequality, Mr. O'Brien from Digicel. It is indeed important, Mr. Goldfein, for us to look at income inequality. We cannot expect people to make $7.25 an hour and we feel safe in our houses, in our palaces, in our shrines, in our bunkers. Do you think they're not going to attack the bunkers that you all are making in Kansas City for $1.5 million? That's a starting point. Do you think they're not going to attack that too? So I am trying to figure out, for all the people who talk about Christianity and all the people who say they're conservative, do they look at the whole thing and just not their one little thing that's concerning them? Are we looking at the global economy as Republicans to see that we're not just hurting America, we're not hurting Obama, we're hurting everyone? And yes, the stock market went up last week when they thought the idiots in Congress were going to speak and come to an agreement. But today it plummeted again, or starting to plummet, to plunge again, because now they're worried again. Are these idiots really going to go over the debt ceiling on the 17th of this month, which is Thursday, is it not? Who are we? What kind of people are we? And please stop talking about God, because you all cannot believe in God. If you're doing the things you're doing, you're robbing people. The kids who go to Head Start did not ask to be here. They did not tell their parents to get pregnant. And some of them not even have an orgasm to get that pregnancy. They didn't even enjoy the sex. But it produced those children who are on Head Start in that program. And they have to be home because of some crazy Republican senator named Ted Cruz and Mr. Mike Lee, who followed, Marco Rubio, Rand Paul. Last election it was Paul Ryan talking so much about the deficit. He can't even say the word these days because it's like half of what it was. But no one is talking about that. No one is talking about the positive things that are happening. We're all willing to kill Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act. But do we have another plan to insure 40 million people who have no insurance? Barack Obama is set for life with his health insurance. All the people in Congress are set for life. All the people in the Senate are set for life with their health care plans. So do we so begrudge the people who can't afford it? Because if you read your Bible, you know that Jesus asked us to help the poor. So that simply means to me that he knew that there will be and always will be, until he comes back, poor people. So who are you willing to help? Even though sometimes you try to help and they kick you in the teeth anyway, I guess we just have to keep helping. Because if you think of a housekeeper who comes to your house and says to you, you have a small house, a clean house, I don't have that much work to do, but I want to charge you $60, and guess what? That's just a little bit of money. But if you break it down, my brothers and sisters, it is $30 an hour because they're in your house less than 2 hours. What do you say to people like those? Do you kick them out and just get somebody else, or what do you do? Because if you pay someone $15 an hour to clean your house, which is way over the minimum wage and is indeed fair, how many hours do they need to be in your house? They won't be there for 4 hours. They won't even be there for 2 if you have a small house, like I do. But they want you to pay them $100 because they're cleaning your house. And you are providing them a job. So yes, I do understand that part of the logic. Because when you try to help people with small businesses, they turn around and kick you in your teeth. So I get that. I understand it. But that doesn't make me not want to hire someone to clean my house. That doesn't make me not want to give someone a gift at Thanksgiving of turkey or whatever it is, to go to the supermarket and buy your dinner. Because that is the right thing to do. Is it right for the Republicans, Tea Party, as they call themselves, I call them Republicans, to disrespect the office of the presidency every single day of life? Only because a black man is the chief? Is it right for us to do that? It is so bad that I watched 60 Minutes last night and watched the announcer correct the young man who is so talented, and guess who gave him that brain and that talent that he has? He's not so smart according to himself. He's a 4-point average, yes, and that's smart. He doesn't think it's that smart. He believes that if you're smart, you need to take action to make your smartness be felt, and I agree. But he had to be corrected by saying, oh, he goes to the White House with Barack Obama, and he was corrected, no, President Obama. So how disrespectful are we? Maybe that young man was not thinking of being disrespectful to the president, but he was corrected, President Barack Obama. Are we trying to belittle the office of the president? Or are we trying to kill Barack Obama, who we elected twice as our president? What are we trying to do? Who are we trying to destroy? What kind of country is this? You need to look into yourselves today, whether you're Republican, Democrat, or Independent, or you don't vote, or you don't give a crap. We need to look into ourselves, because there are indeed people who don't give a crap. You need to look into yourselves and wonder. And if you're going to call yourself a man of God, a woman of God, or God, don't say it unless you mean it. We shall take a break and come back in just a slither of a moment, because this America is getting serious. Racism is on the rise. In no uncertain terms. Hello everyone. It doesn't matter who you are, how rich you are, how poor you are. But there has to be a point in your life, and you will come to that point, where you have to take someone you love to the hospital. But have you ever considered that you could take that loved one, in my case, my only child, to the hospital in a normal state, and then you leave 5 months later, brain damaged, in a wheelchair, without your senses? This is my true story, Deadly Negligence, the book, available on Amazon and at my website, dianawrighttv.webs.com. I'm asking you today to get a copy. Support my story. Let us get this out there, because this story will captivate you. It will shock you. It will give you hope. It will increase your faith and make you believe in miracles again. Thank you for picking up your copy today. And just in case you know Oprah Winfrey or Tyler Perry or Mr. Levinson, let them know this is worth a movie. Thank you. Get your copy today. Okay, we are back, and we thank you so much for joining us from around the world and in the United States. This is the Diana Wright Show. Just reminding you that come this Saturday is my first book signing. It's this Saturday, October 19th. Can you believe this already? My goodness, the year is just flying by. Okay, so it's going to be from 6 to 9 p.m. in a fabulous building called Midtown 24, the Alibi Room. The address is 700 Southwest 78th Avenue, and that's in Plantation, Florida. Some of you putting it into your navigation system needs to know that the zip code is 33324, okay? And of course, thank you so much to John T. for interviewing me this morning on WAVS. I certainly appreciate that. And of course, we're going to have an interview with Rodney on his program this week. I'll let you know what day it is, and so you can watch. And of course, there'll be an article coming out in the Sun Sentinel. It's going to be a little late, but anyway, we invite you to be there with us, and we thank you so much for all the love on Facebook. And I'll just go back today and remind you to come and join me come this Saturday. I am now saying this Saturday, okay? I cannot believe how fast the months and the days and the weeks are going, and that's the reason why we have to just take time out to love who we are, to be who we are, just the way God created us to be. Find our passion. Find our goals and pursue them. But in the midst of all that, pursue everything with faith and believe that you will receive it and you shall have it. In the name of the mighty one, Jesus. Yes. So, I just want to remind people who are talking about their Republicans and they want to impeach President Barack Obama and they want to do all these things and they want to go to Washington and everybody seems so angry. The Bible warns us about being angry. It is foolish to be angry. And if you show anger first, you are a fool. So how many of us are willing to change that pattern today? Love ourselves first, because all those guys who are out there, they don't love who they are. All those Sarah Palins and Ted Cruz's and all those angry people I saw at the Capitol and at the White House on Saturday, they hate themselves. They never got any respect as children or any love. So hence, I heard Teresa talking about, on Housewives of New Jersey, saying Italians don't show love to their kids. But she does now. And that's the reason, maybe. Okay, we'll take that. But parents, you need to tell your kids constantly, every single day. Remember that that there was this thing one time when it used to be on television. Did you hug your child today? Have you hugged your child today? Well, my thing is, have you told yourself you love yourself today? Have you told your child you love them today? Or your spouse or your significant other or whomever around you? Have you done that today? It's important to ask yourself that. And reminding you that if you miss the live show at 10:30, please go to my website, www.dianawrighttv.webs.com, and click on the video icon, and you will see all the shows you've missed, including the one for that day. The one for that day is normally up before the day is out. Okay? I promise you that, because now I'm in control of it. So, just do that. You'll never know when something someone says or I will say that gets you going, that keeps you going, that just increases your faith and make you believe in yourself. We're not asking you to believe in me. I want you to believe in yourself and God, your creator. So there it is. As we move now to, for the past 9 months, however, Walmart has been trumpeting patriotic promises. What, you ask? To stock up more on U.S.-made goods. The mighty Walmart, the biggest retailer on the planet. Oh yes, they are the biggest, largest retailer on the planet. So they're now getting a little patriotic. We should buy more made in America. So manufacturing means good middle-class jobs, and that's exactly what our country needs. This was said by Bill Simon, the chief executive of Walmart US. Hello? Are we hearing good? Oh yeah. Remember, most of the things in Walmart were coming from where? China, who wants to de-Americanize the world. Oh yes. In a revival-style speech at a recent supplier meeting in Orlando, no doubt, where a children's choir sang the national anthem. How patriotic. So far, Walmart has announced plans to offer U.S.-made socks. So you make socks, you have a chance with Walmart. Towels, candles, and light bulbs, among other things, creating more than 1,200 jobs. Is that all you can create, Walmart? You're big. It will announce, I guess it's today, they'll announce that Redmond and Associates will open a plant in Rogers, Arkansas next year to make battery-powered toy cars. Hello? The manufacturing is coming back. I remember as a little girl, everything that you got, that you knew, that you saw, from clothing to toys to everything, was made in America. But no, we wanted the cheaper way. But you see, we went to China and we got some inferior stuff. And the Chinese have decided to raise their income too. You know, their minimum wages. Do they have one? Well, it seems so minimum, it's minuscule. But they're raising their labor costs. So those guys have to come back to America where they can get properly made products. When you go to the store to buy your clothes, just inspect them. Unless they're coming from Ralph Lauren labels or the top designers. Watch out for them seams. Watch out for them thread that you pull and all the whole thing come apart. Watch out for it. So here we go. America is indeed coming back. It's going nowhere. Another Arkansas-based company, Hannah's Candle Company, says it has doubled its workforce to about 200 people, including temporary workers, in the past because of an increase in sales to Walmart. Walmart has promised to increase purchases of U.S.-made merchandise by $50 billion with a B dollars, which would work out to an average of $5 billion a year. You got that? That affects just roughly 2% of what Walmart spends annually on merchandise at U.S. stores, said Matthew Niemer, an analyst of Wells Fargo Securities. It is less than 1% of the U.S. trade gap in 2012. So you see how big Walmart really is? The campaign is partly public relations, depicting Walmart as a good citizen, but also promises financial benefits. Of course! Walmart is not going to do anything that is patriotic, that's not putting money in their pockets. And I don't have a problem with that, because if you're investing your money, you should, get a profit back. Yeah, you should. You are entitled to it. Nobody wants to go into business and lose their shirt or make no profit. To the extent it can find low-cost manufacturers in the U.S., Walmart can reduce inventory costs because goods spend less time in transit. Because the time it takes them to get it from China to here, whoops, from Arkansas, it's just a lot of whoops, and it's there. With U.S.-based suppliers, Walmart can get new merchandise into stores faster when consumer fads changes. Because you do know that consumer fads change in a flash. Yes, they do. They change in a flash. And that's the reason I don't get caught up in the fashion of the day. I might get 1 or 2 outfits, but I ain't going to get a whole ton load unless it's something I really like and I know I can take it through to the rest of time. Because for me, it's a classic. And I will wear it. I don't give a crap what you think when I'm wearing it. So people say, oh, you shouldn't wear white in winter. If I feel like wearing white in winter, I am going to wear white in winter. I don't care where I am. And I don't care what you think. Because that's your thing. Like I heard Joyce Meyer says, who are these experts anyway? What do they know? But when you say the experts say it carries more weight, no, it doesn't. We need to all believe in ourselves and our own gut. And you know what's the gut that's talking to you? That's your spirit, and that's a message from your God. Telling you. Anything you're going to do and you're going to say, but. I know I should pay my bills on time, but. I know I should love myself, but. I know I should get up out of the bed and take action, but. Whenever you're going to say that but, you need to look into your butt. How about that? Just consider that. And consider the fact that there are bullies in our workplaces that bullies us and make us feel inferior. And you can work for someone for 10 years and they gave you not even $1 raise. How unfair is that? Someone is working for you for 10 years and you don't even give them a raise? 50 cents will do. Sometimes even 10 cents will do, just to say you're thinking, I want to help you. What kind of society are we having in this America? So that we can be blasted by the Chinese media, state-run media, no doubt, that we need to de-Americanize the world. I guess they really want it to be Chinaized. Chinaized. No, I don't think we want that. We need to fix our democracy in this country, because the democracy we're selling right now is not going to fly. No one in their right mind will want the democracy that we're seeing played out in Washington, D.C. at this moment. Okay? So we need to just stop, take a breath. And all you supervisors and directors and chairmen and CEOs and CFOs on jobs, remember, when you have a hierarchy in your organization that tells people that if I am the CEO, I don't speak to the janitor, that is absolutely the wrong way to think. Because the janitor is the one that's keeping the place clean enough so you can operate. The little man who's doing the work is the same little man that make you rich. So we need to get off our high rumpus, and that's the reason why Undercover Boss, that show that was launched by CBS, was such a good show. It's all over the place right now. Because when executives actually do the job of the everyday people from the janitor on up, they fail and flunk miserably because they can't do the jobs of the little people. I truly believe that if you are the head of a company, you should need to know and must know everything and every job, so that just in case you can do that job. It's not about sitting in your office and rolling around in your chair in your big office. What's that about? Richard Branson, he doesn't even have an office, and look how rich he is. He just has some out-of-the-box ideas that work. So what is your idea today? What do you have that's out of the box that you can put in and make it work without complaining? Don't forget to join the conversation, and if you need the information about the book signing this weekend or any other information, 561-228-1921. That's the number here at the Diana Wright Show, 561-228-1921. All right? So if you have no haters, because if you're a hater, I'm going to hang up the phone. How about that? Because I got the power to do it, and then I'll utilize that power. So if you're hating, and don't try to sell me anything either. I'm not interested. Okay? When I want to buy something, I know where to go and buy it. If you're calling for information about the show, or about the book signing, or about the t-shirts, or about me speaking at your event, you're welcome to use the number 561-228-1921. People say I have a strong personality, but I think if we all had personalities like me and we all loved ourselves, the world would be a much better place. How about that? And if we had more people willing to speak the truth, and anything you say behind someone's back, you can say to their face, what a wonderful world this would be. We'll take another break and come back to you in just a slither of a moment. How about that? Yes, I'll do that. Amen. Hello everyone, this is a season of giving, and I'm asking you to consider one of your gifts to be Deadly Negligence, written by yours truly, Diana Wright. A story that will give you hope, make you mad, shock you sometimes, but is bound to increase your faith and make you believe in miracles again. So please, give Deadly Negligence as a gift, as the gifting season begins to heat up. I am depending on you to do this for me. Thank you so much, and be the proud person to give a gift of the book Deadly Negligence. It's available on Amazon.com and on my website, DianaWrightTV.webs.com. Thank you so much for my viewers around the world and in the United States. Be blessed. Alrighty, be blessed, and we are back with you on the Diana Wright Show live, and don't forget you can catch a show anytime you'd like. If you can't catch it live, on my website, www.dianawrighttv.webs.com, and you can go and get my t-shirt, because don't forget, April 30th, International I Love Me Day is coming up just around the corner. It's just around the corner. Can you imagine that? Anyway, I'm going to talk about the Nobel Prize for a minute. because we see that Americans Eugene Fama, Lars Peter Hansen, and Robert Shiller won the Nobel Prize for Economics for developing methods to study trends in stock, bond, and housing markets. This is fantastic. What I didn't think was so fantastic is the fact that everybody was touting Malala, the young woman that was shot in the head in Pakistan to get a Nobel Prize because she was touting for education. And you know, I thought about it for a minute, and I thought, of all the parents that I've met that have had their children almost dead, including mine, because of negligence in a hospital, and those children survived and can speak now, do they deserve the Nobel Prize too? Well, by golly, I think they do. If Malala can be selected as one of the recipients, possibly, well, I think my child and all those other children out there who were almost killed, not by a terrorist Taliban, but by a hospital personnel who you thought was supposed to take care of you and did not listen to you, that, yes, those children deserve to be elected, selected to get the Nobel Prize too. So yes, I'll submit my daughter's name the next time to the Academy. Okay? Let's just think about that. You don't have to be shot in your head by the Taliban for it to be injustice. It is injustice when you take your child to the hospital with all their 5 senses and they have to leave with 0 senses in a wheelchair because of negligence by a nurse in the hospital and a doctor. So is that not the same thing? It is. So people throwing around crazy things like, oh, Malala should get the Nobel Prize? No. If my daughter cannot get it, and all those other parents that I know personally, that their children were almost killed by people who were supposed to be taking care of them and protecting them, then it shouldn't be so. And why is it that we as parents and we with our children are not getting the publicity by Diane Sawyer and ABC and CNN like that child is? That is wrong in any language. I'm sorry to tell you that. And this is not coming from a place of hate or envy or jealousy. It's coming from a place of truth and fairness. So why is it that we choose to pick and choose who we want to rise and who we want to showcase on 2020 or who we want to showcase on television to be heroes? My child is a hero, and so are all the mothers that I met in my journey. We are heroes too, America. ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN, MSNBC, we are heroes also. Yes, our children were almost killed and had to go through years of therapy without the attention of the media and the attention of all the people who wield their power. What do we have to show for it? Absolutely nothing. Okay? Because your life will never be the same. And you cannot go in reverse and change it. So I don't want to hear about other people's problems that equates to mine and all the people that I know who are being celebrated in order to grow their pockets, basically. when we are being downtrodden and not given a chance and a moment. So let's think about that. It's called fairness. It's the way God designed it and wanted. God believed in justice. So where's our justice? Where is our platform to speak on? Where is it? So I continue. The Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences said that through their separate research, the three had laid the foundation of the current understanding of asset prices and changed the way people invest. Fantastic. They deserve it. They earned it. While it's hard to predict whether stock or bond prices will go up or down, in the short term, it's possible to foresee movements over periods of 3 years or longer. That's what the Academy said. These findings, which might seem surprising and contradictory, were made and analyzed by this year's laureates. Yes? Pharma is 74 years old, so see, your dream is never too late to be realized. Pharma, 74. Hansen, 60. Are associated with University of Chicago. Schiller, 67. He's a professor at Yale University, an economist famous for having warned against bubbles in technology. That's technology stocks and housing stocks. He said he reacted with disbelief when he got the call from the Academy. Of course, anyone would be shocked. He said, people told me they thought I might win. I discounted it. Of course, you never believe you're going to win the prize, even though in your heart you kind of have a flicker that says you might. Probably hundreds have been told that, he said. Schiller is known for developing the Case-Shiller Index, a leading measure of U.S. residential real estate prices, with Carl Case, a Wellesley College economist. He said he believes finance is a structure for society which, if regulated properly, is at the core of our civilization. It seems to some people it's selfish and money-grabbing. It doesn't really have to be that way, he said. The financial crisis we've been through is traumatic, but we're learning from it. We've learned from it. Have we learned from it? Some may argue that we haven't learned, because I'm told that all the lavish parties and lavish occasions and lavish weddings and big spending is still going on under the radar. Yes, Mr. Cowie, he said that. I didn't. Yeah, those were his words. So, as we take another break and come back in just a moment, we welcome you again to the Diana Wright Show Live. Thank you so much for joining us from around the world and in the United States. Thank you for loving us and liking us on Facebook and spreading the word. It's spreading like wildfire. Yes, it is. So we're going to take another break and come back to you in just a moment. Thank you. Remember, April 30th, 2014 is International I Love Me Day. I want you to start thinking about what will you do special for you on that day. Share it with me on Facebook and Twitter, and join the conversation on the Diana Wright Show, Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. We are live. The number to call, 561-228-1921. That's 561-228-1921. Join the conversation, like us on Facebook, and follow me on Twitter. Okay, yes, we are back, and we thank you so much for joining us again. And I got to thinking, over the weekend I heard that chocolate, the price of chocolate is going up, up and away. And if you notice, I have my Twitter graphic up now. I'm asking you to follow me on Twitter. And Twitter is going public, but I think the IPO is kind of, holding back because of the government shutdown led by Senator Ted Cruz and Mike Lee. Well, Mike Lee seems to be the follower. And I just teach my daughter, never, ever, ever be a follower, because you might follow someone into your ditch. So, Mr. Ted Cruz does not believe in the polls. Well, you see, the people who are losing never, ever believe in the polls. They only believe in the polls when they're winning in the polls. So what do we say about Mr. Ted Cruz? And anyone that's kind of standing behind Sarah Palin, standing beside her, I think you're on a losing streak. Sarah Palin, the money grabber, trying to make all her children famous grabber, and her husband in TV series that flop. Oh yeah, what is she coming out with now? A diet book or something? While she's trying to tell you that you shouldn't listen to the government, and First Lady Michelle Obama when she's trying to tell you to eat right and be well? Hypocrites. All they want is to be famous and get a program on Fox to host. And if you feed yourself only Fox News, you'll have an issue. If you feed yourself only Rush Limbaugh and Glenn Beck, the crazy, crazy ones, you will have issues, and there are many others. You need to spread your wings over all the different media, the different companies, and get a wide knowledge of what's going on. You cannot be listening to MSNBC all day, you shouldn't be listening to Fox all day, and you should not be listening to CNN all day. You should spread it out. You should not be listening to Bloomberg all day or CNBC all day. Spread it out. Give yourself a wide span of knowledge. Because we all seek wisdom, knowledge, and understanding like God gave to Solomon even when he was just a child. That's what we all seek. But when we find it, are we willing to use it? And when God pours you out a blessing from the windows of heaven that you might not just have room to receive, are you ready to receive it? Is your mind ready? Is your conscience ready? So I moved to this story after the sweet chocolate rise in price. I guess it's the Christmas time coming around and Thanksgiving when they know people are going to buy the chocolate anyway. So they just raise the price up and tell us that there's a shortage. Seriously. So I moved to America's cheapest livable cities. But before I get to the cheapest livable cities, I want to ask you this. Are you searching for America's non-racist livable city? I'm searching for that. The best place for me is California. That's where I've lived and I've seen, I think you suffer the least racism there. Yeah, they have this whole slavery mentality of getting into the movies and getting, where you want to be if you are striving to be an actress or an actor. Yeah. Because if you watch, a Hollywood, they tell you about the Hollywood thing where people take their children to Hollywood to live for 9 months, starting in May. And they leave their life at home just to get their children to be in a pilot during pilot season in California. And they stay at this one place that is exclusively for that. And someone is constantly selling themselves to you to buy photographs, seminars. And parents are spending thousands of dollars doing this, even though they're normal, poor people. They're being milked by the dream of making it big in America. And one woman who went through the experience, she said, I can state to you that this is slavery, if there is anything called slavery. And as I mentioned the word slavery, I think of Ben Carson, Dr. Ben Carson, who we all thought was such a wonderful guy. So he's turned a Republican, or is a Republican, and he loses his brain? How dare he refer to Obamacare and says it's slavery? Have you ever been a slave, Dr. Ben Carson? Or are you just a crazy Republican who is using the talking points to speak? How do you equate Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act, to trying to help people to get insurance? And then you're going to call it slavery? Oh my God. I think Dr. Ben Carson has lost his mind, his marbles, his skills. The same brother that I read the books about him, who'd speak of his single mother. Is he really thinking about single mothers now and Head Start and all those things? And is he trying to say that we need not provide health care for 40 million Americans who don't have any health insurance? Is that what he's calling slavery? We all don't want government. We all don't like government, but we all seeking a government job. You're seeking a government job, Dr. Ben Carson. Ted Cruz, Senator Ted Cruz, Senator Mike Lee, Senator Marco Rubio, Congressman Paul Ryan, Senator Rand Paul, you are all seeking a job with the government. And do you all just now realize what government actually does? What they do? And you single-handedly, with your hate for government, cannot do it. There is no private sector company in the United States that can do what the United States government does. I'm here to teach you about that, because you can't. So, America's cheapest livable cities. I want someone to go out there and find me America's non-racist livable cities. Please let me know what they are. So Pueblo, Colorado is one. Idaho Falls, Idaho is another. Was it Norman, Oklahoma? Cincinnati, Ohio? Omaha, Nebraska, where Warren Buffett, I think, lives, and that's where his company is. Wichita Falls, Texas. Springfield, Illinois. Fayetteville, Arkansas. Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And Reno, Nevada. Those are America's cheapest livable cities. I guess there are cheaper ones that are not livable. But I truly, truly, truly want to find the America, the city, the state, the place in this wonderful country of America called the United States of America. Where can we find a non-racist, livable, affordable city in these United States? I plead with you. When you have China's state-run media crying out and calling shame on the government shutdown of the United States and want to de-Americanize the world, that should get you thinking. That should get you rolling. That should make your thoughts clear. That should say to you, we're on the wrong path. And whether you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, or you don't give a crap, as Americans, we need to do better. We need to want better. We need to need better. And we need to expect better from our leaders. Well, they're not my leaders because they're a bunch of fools anyway. Because what they're doing in Washington right now just seems like a bunch of fools. And I am begging President Barack Hussein Obama to stand his ground and do not allow the Republicans to push him around and disrespect him every single day of their lives and wanting him to bend. He has negotiated and negotiated. All those people out there were talking about he is the president and he's responsible. No, fools. The law cannot be the law of the land like the Affordable Care Act is the law of the land because it went through Congress and it even got to the Supreme Court. You cannot have legislation without it going through Congress. So despite the fact that the president is the president, he cannot do what Congress does. So Congress, headed by Speaker Boehner, need to get and find his balls in his pants and do something. And that's where we leave it today. Inside the Diana Wright Show Live, happy Columbus Day to you and yours who have the day off today. And don't forget that today does not count as a shutdown day because it would be a holiday for federal workers anyway. Just think of that. And while you're at it, remember to love yourself, keep loving yourself, keep being who you are, keep speaking the truth, and keep being in faith and believe and trust in God. So I leave you with this promo as we go out today. I'm going to leave it with you. Yes, I'm going to do that. Hello everyone. I am just asking you from around the world and in the United States to partner with the Diana Wright Show, sponsor the Diana Wright Show, or advertise on the Diana Wright Show. To do so, please call 561-228-1921. That's 561-228-1921. Please sponsor, partner with us, and advertise with us to make the show a big hit, just like you do by liking us on Facebook and following me on Twitter. Thank you so much. Don't forget the number to call, 561-228-1921. That's 561-228-1921. Also, we invite you to invite me to be at your event as a speaker and to tell you about my new book, Deadly Negligence. And so we encourage you to partner with us right here on the Diana Wright Show. Advertise with us and sponsor the Diana Wright Show. 561-228-1921. Thank you so much. Alrighty. Yes, I'm back. And if you love something, set it free. If it comes back, it's yours. If it doesn't, it was never yours. Stop the hating, stop the envy, stop the jealousy, and start with loving you, who you are. God bless you, and God bless America.